Come on, stay. How do these cool kids do this? Hello and welcome to another Frida Friday. It's been eons since the last time you saw my face doing this type of content, and that is because, well, I think you can get it by the name of this video if you've already read, on being your own worst enemy. It just seems like I visit this part of my life way too often because I can't get away from me. And of course I am to blame for this absence. I don't want to come on here and apologize profusely because I feel like my absence has kind of made way for this kind of content, and I just wanted to delve a little bit into this because I do believe that so many people face this on a day-to-day basis, where the only thing getting in the way of your success is self-sabotage. Now, especially being somebody that's riddled with anxiety on the daily and learning to manage that, it's very easy to kind of fall into this trap of self-doubt. Take these Frida Friday videos for example. I wanted to embark on a path of transparency, of truly putting myself out there in a way that scared me, but at the same time it also would be a way of finding myself again, therapy, telling people out there that they're not alone. But I got in my own way by getting in my own head and distracting myself from the bigger picture. A lot of what I go through on a daily basis is processing, and that's not particularly pretty, right? Because you've got to sit down with your thoughts and truly evaluate where you are in your life right now, to acknowledge things about you that are easier to live in denial about. I can't be responsible for other people's behavior and actions and thoughts, but I can and have to be responsible for my own. For example, I hate admin, but it's such a crucial part of my job. There are a ton of phone calls that need to be made, there are a ton of posts that need to be scheduled, there's tons of proposals that need to be made, there's a lot of work essentially that goes into making a successful brand. I get overwhelmed really quickly. There have been so many moments in my radio career where a lot of things happen at the same time. Now, I don't know if you've been inside a studio before, but as the presenter of the show, you are in control of the mics, everyone's mic. You are in control of the music. You're in control of the betting track. You're in control of the phone calls that come in. You're in control of the content that gets delivered properly and distributed across whoever your co-hosts are. Basically, there's a lot going on at the same time. I know myself. I'm a very one-track minded person, so when I get into a studio space, I can't be hit with surprises, which is usually due to my own bad organizational skills, right? I know that I get overwhelmed quickly, so why not prepare efficiently instead of fail publicly? One huge thing that I only recently acknowledged about myself is that I love rules and I love routine. It's something that I was in denial about for a very long period of time because I thought being kind of like carefree and anti-establishment was cool, but it actually was so self-sabotaging and left me very anxious all of the time. But if you have a routine, which I've now slowly started to implement in my life, and also if you have rules that you follow, it creates boundaries. Boundaries are important. Boundaries are necessary for you to function properly as a human being. Now, when I was younger, chaos was really appealing to me, right? I wanted to be that off-the-rails kid who did what she wanted to with no rules, no curfew, no bedtime, watch TV when I wanted to, be on my cell phone. Okay, didn't have a cell phone. Not realizing that certain rules are put into place to protect us. And the same sort of idea that we have as kids, we need to carry that into our adult years, right? They were put there for a reason. We literally are all kids wandering around with tons of responsibility, and we need to be able to create seamless living as far as we possibly can. So one thing, for example, which is really small but truly helps me, and when I don't do it, again, I become my own worst enemy because I know that I need to, yet I find myself in a mess, is a daily morning routine. To start off my morning and to set the tone of the day, I need to do a couple of things in a particular order at a particular time just to be able to ensure that I will be able to function during the day. So instead of grabbing my phone as the first thing of the day, I would leave that to like the 7th thing of the day. Before engaging with the world and those around you in the mornings by grabbing your phone and getting connected, you need to connect with yourself. And all these things help me to stay grounded and to reconnect with what I'm doing, who I am. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you do in life, who you are is the most important. I also know that I'm an avoider and I'm a procrastinator, and all of these things, if left unhinged, make me a little bit crazy. I remember during high school, I never used to want to keep a diary. In my head, ideally, I did because I had all the stationery and all the books to support this idea, but I just never got down to do it. And I regret it, I truly do, because I feel like that structures your day in a way that's tangible, in a way that you can actually see, oh, at 9:30, this is what I need to do. Oh, in 3 days time, this is what is due. Now, these things don't make me a bad person, nor are they bad qualities to have. They're just qualities, right? But what's really important is you actually looking within and recognizing these things about yourself that you would rather pass over. I've got a lot of trauma and a lot of things that I definitely still need to work through, and that's going to take time. It might just take a lifetime to get through. But I chose to ignore all these things about myself and kind of approach the world in a way that you can't harm me because I don't see you. But if you float around life like this, it's a very sure way to avoid reality. And reality has a very ugly way of revealing itself to you. Because at the end of the day, the truth is that if I don't put in the work, I'm not gonna reap the rewards. I had a conversation with my partner's mom a while ago about bearing fruit. Now, I grew up in a Christian household where principles of sowing seeds and reaping the rewards of that was definitely instilled in me at a young age, and you can carry that with you and implement it in any part of your life, right? What you sow is what you reap. So I can't expect to get to the levels that I want to, that my vision board tells me to, if I don't put in the work right now, if I constantly allow myself to get in the way of my own successes. It's a really scary thing in that if you know anything about nature and trees, it takes a while for a tree to fully grow. But the problem is that you'll only be able to see the fruits of your work, whether good or bad, whether half-assed or truly invested in yourself, in a couple of years' time. And to save you, to save myself from the disappointment of having a shrub that just refuses to grow past a certain point, you truly have to, you know, pick up these tools and reevaluate your life on a daily basis to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of self-sabotaging and of getting in the way of your own progress. Now, I know that I'm making this sound like everything that you go through in life, you have a choice, right? When it comes to depression, snap out of it and stop getting in your own way. When it comes to anxiety, get over it and just move on with your life. And I know that that's not the case. Where so many mental illnesses are imbalances in your brain or in the chemicals in your body, something that you can't just, you know, listen to a video like this and then change your life. But what I am speaking to are those parts in your life that you can make a change to. So if you put in the work in order to just improve yourself and become a better version of yourself, in a couple of years, in a couple of months, you definitely are going to see the rewards of that. Admin, overwhelm, procrastination, routine. These 4 things are vitally important for my functioning. And if I'm not functioning at a fundamental root level, everything else around me is going to continue to be chaos. And now I know it's really difficult to actually do these things. I mean, I've been there, I still am there every single day. There are a lot of enablers in life that sort of keep us in the space, but if you want to take responsibility over your future, you definitely need to act in the now for them. And one thing that I've definitely learned is grace. So on those days where I feel like I definitely can't, you need to just be gracious with yourself, practice kindness and practice patience, because you will get there, right? These things don't just happen overnight. It takes a long period. In fact, it takes a lifetime to practice them on the daily. So if you've taken anything out of this video, the point number 1 thing is, the only way to stop yourself from being your own worst enemy is to take control of your life and also take yourself more seriously. This is something that I've struggled with for such a long time, where I just kind of was going from day to day, not really taking stock of what I am doing and what my contribution wants to be at the end of the day, what legacy I want to leave. Now, I know that these are very big questions, existential questions even, to have to answer or think about from a day-to-day basis. And if I know you, and if I know me for the most part, we don't have the energy. It's exhausting just being a human being, right? But just to occasionally, I would say even once a week, if you can manage, take stock of the bigger picture, then it'll help. At the end of the day, you have to realize that it starts and it ends with you. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. I look forward to many more Frida Fridays. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also leave a comment below or slide into my DMs with a couple of questions you may have. So until the next one, here's to more growing and becoming.